Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the flight deck. We are here late night, or very early morning hours of the morning here in Japan. And we're going to be flying from Niigata down to Toyama. Flight is about 1 hour long. So let's hop on board and we'll get things up and running. Hello, Liam. How are you doing today? Alright, so we're here inside the aircraft. It is cold and dark, as you can see. Very early mornings here in Niigata. So we're going to pop up top. First thing we'll do is get the flashlight on. And we will pop up top and start getting everything set. So, come down here. Throttle levers are set. Condition levers are set. Gear lever is set down. Parking brake is on. Gust locks are on. We'll come up top here to the external power. We'll turn the battery on. There we go. And external power should be available. There we go. We'll get it turned on. So external power is now on both, and we'll get the dome lights on as well. Get a little bit of light inside the cockpit. First Officer Molly is doing very well. She's lying on the floor asleep behind me as we speak. Alright, with everything turned on there, we can start and we can request our catering.
Catering vehicles are on their way.
Alright, so we'll get the nav lights up and on. We'll come up and do our warning system. We'll go this way just to make sure I can see everything. So we're going to do the squib test. We want to make sure we don't accidentally pull the handle. So squib is good. Fault test and fire test is good. We'll do the other engine. There's squib, fault, and fire test is good. So gust lock is going to stay on. Propeller brake is ready. We're going to start on the stand, so we're not going to need it. And then we'll just turn out from here. So that is fine. No smoking signs and no devices are on. Seatbelts are on. Emergency exit lights are now armed. And the windshield anti-ice is on both sides. Has she tried fish yet? No, she hasn't. Hey, J-Hog. Actually, yeah, it was a very nice flight back. No issues. And actually landed 20 minutes early, so it went very well. Hope your drive back up north was good. Yeah, Liam, no fish yet. We'll see. Not Los Angeles, Liam. I had to go to London for family stuff. Los Angeles is in a week. All right, so let's come down. It's been a while since I've flown this airplane here. So we're going to come down and do our loading and flight planning. We're going to import our flight plan. There she is there. And we'll come down to the FMC. So our data is all good. And we are looking good there. We can go to our initialization. Date is correct and time is good. That was a good day. It was good to meet up with everybody again. So position initialization, we'll grab our GPS position, throw it in. There we go. We can hit return. Nav data, as you can see, nav data is all good. And we can come over to our flight plan now. So we can go to our route section. Did I fly business class? Premium economy to London and business class on the way back. I managed to get an upgrade. So it was a nice flight on the way back for sure. Alright, so we are flying from Romeo Juliet Sierra November, and we are traveling to Romeo Juliet November Tango. Flight time once we take off of just checking 41 minutes. So that's not too bad. So we'll execute that. There we go. So from RJSN, we are going to be departing via let me just pull it up here. Runway 10, and we're going off of the Mach 2 departure, and we're going to TRAD. Alright, we'll execute that. So there is our departure point, and it takes us to TRAD. After TRAD, we are going on the Yankee 45 airway. So Yankee 45. Yeah, no problem, Jayog. We'll talk to you again soon. And we're heading down to Ikuji, so that's India Kilo Uniform Juliet India. There we go. From Ikuji, it wants us to go direct to Medic, MEDIC. So we'll put that in there. Actually, no, we won't. We will return. I think I just locked this up. That's the problem with not doing this for a while. I think I've done things in the wrong order. And locked it up. No I didn't, Liam. No I didn't. Okay, so I have locked up my FMC here, and it won't let me click out. So I'm going to very quickly back out for a second and pop back in, read it. We didn't get too far, so we'll be good. So that's me going the wrong way about programming, and it locked it up. So it should just take a second to load back in. Hopefully. It seems to be taking a while to back off out of the flight. There we go. Alright, let's go back in. And we were sitting about there. We'll reload that in. Should be fairly quick because we were already in the aircraft. All right, So let's try this again. So we're going to import our flight plan. Aircraft, we'll get everything up and open. There we go. Pop up to the overhead. Turn the master battery on. Get the ground power on. Those lights. So gear levers down, parking brakes set, batteries are on, external power is on, nav lights on.
Boarding requested.
Boarding requested. 410 gust lock, prop brake, not going to worry about it. Seatbelt signs, no smoking, and lane lights, anti-ice is on. And we can pop back down to the FMC. So I'm just going to go through this quickly. Alright, position identification.
Do you want to board crew?
Is set.
Passengers bus is coming.
I'll return. Nav data is good. Flight plan. Okay, once again, route. It is Romeo, Juliet, Sierra, November. Forgot that there is a sequence, and if you do it wrong, it bites you badly. Romeo, Juliet, November, Tango. There we go. Execute that. So from here, we're going off on runway 10 on the Mach 2 via Terrad. Execute. Coming down to Terrad. The next thing is the airway, Yankee 45. And then we're taking that to Ikju. Execute. Return. Return. And then from Ikju, it is a direct to Medic. And it's the next waypoint, and that will be Japan, that's fine. Execute. Turn. And then we're going directly from there into the RNAV.
I'm right next to her. Thank you.
For runway 02. RNAV 02. We're not doing a star. And we will execute. Clear out the disco. And there is the start. Let me just check the waypoints. That is the departure and the arrival. Okay, so that is all in and good. Back to the menu. Now our weights we can put in. Our zero fuel weight for today is 16,430 in kilograms. Fuel on board is going to be 2,083. There we go. So that is all set. Trim 1.1. Fine, and our initialization numbers, cruise altitude of 18,000 feet. Our alternate today is RJTT, which is over to Tokyo. And if we have to go there, we will be at 10,000 feet. Go. That is in. And units are good. Alright, so that's all entered in. And there's our performance numbers. Transition altitude is not going to be 18,000 feet. It is going to be 14,000 feet. There we go. And there's our V speeds. We're all set, and you can go over to the flight plan. Alright, so We are on VATSIM, but there are no controllers currently up and running. So that is fine there. Clear that caution. Everything is looking good there so far. So altimeter, we'll get our current weather here at Niigata. Just grab it. Winds are 130 at 4. Ceiling and visibility are okay. 13 degrees and QNH is 1022. So we'll set that 1022. That is set on both sides. And we're going to set MDA. Make sure we're set MDA on both sides as well. Alright, so beacon light we don't need yet. Fuel pumps we don't need yet. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. We're going to come up once again to the overhead. Oxygen is going to go on. Takeoff data is set. We have that in there. FCP. We'll come in and set that up. We're going to go to a target speed of 170. There we go. And we'll do the vertical speed of 1,000 feet per minute. And we'll go right into nav mode. On our way out. So fuel on board is 2,080, which is correct. Landing elevation is automatic. Seatbelt sign's already on. Fuel used is reset. And probe heats are now on. Power management is set to take off. Flight directors are on both sides. Alright, and we are waiting for boarding and we can get ready to start our engine. So we're going to tune our radios. 122.8 will be the radio 1. Radio 2 will be 121.5, which is the guard frequency for our standby. And just looking if we have any nav aids in the area. We got the Niigata VOR 1155. We can tune that in. Sorry, that's ADFs. And 115.5. That is now tuned in on VOR1, and we'll make sure that is showing. Alright, that is good there. There are no VORs here. Let's check down at the other end. Or there's no NDBs, I mean. There's no NDBs down in Toyama either. But we'll tune in the VOR 11085, and we'll put that in our VOR2. 110.85. Hit enter. I can go into VOR2. Turn that on as well. So that's the ADF. We'll come down here to our ND overlays. Traffic is fine. We'll switch the TCAS to normal. We'll be on weather. We'll be on terrain, and we'll put Roger on weather on the other side. That is good. And nothing there. Synthetic vision is off. Alright, in our surveillance, our transponder is going to be transponder 1. We're going to use the standard 2000 setting on the transponder. It's currently on standby, and TCAS is on auto. Alright, bags are coming on. Take a look at the aircraft here. Looking good, and just checking to see if there's any sign of sun on the horizon. We may be getting something, but that might be the city there. So it looks like it's going to be a sunrise arrival. We'll see how that goes. There's the bags coming on. Alright. So the parking brake is set, so we're going to remove chocks and close the main door. And we are currently just waiting on the bags.
We're on your time now.
Sounds like everybody's on board in the back.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to welcome you aboard our flight. When you find your seat, please be sure to place your larger carry-on items in the overhead bins and smaller items underneath the seat in front of you. Unless you're in a front row, please place all of your items in the overhead bins. If you have any trouble finding a location for your carry-on items, please let a flight attendant know and we would be happy to assist you. After you put your carry-on items in the overhead bin and it is full, make sure you close it as a courtesy to other passengers. Also, be sure that the aisle is clear and sit down so that way other passengers can get by you. If you are seated in an emergency exit row, please review the exit seating responsibilities in the safety card provided for you. Please make sure that you are able and willing to perform these actions. If you're not, please let a flight attendant know so that way you can be received.
Just waiting on the bags
Now's
now.
the time to get out any last-minute text messages if you need to, but we ask that once we depart from the gate, you put away any laptops or tablets. Thank you, and welcome aboard.
Looks like the bags were delayed slightly.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
and welcome
Molly's
aboard flight 55,
wrapped up
56.
in a ball behind me
Our flight
asleep.
time will be roughly 41 minutes. Please note the cabin door is now closed. We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are now shut down and stowed. If you have not already, please fasten your seatbelt and verify it is low and tight across your lap. Your tray tables and seatbacks must be in the full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew, prepare doors for departure, cross-check, verify straps, and stand by for all calls.
So while they're finishing getting the bags on board, let's take a look at our route today. So we're here on the Sea of Japan coast. You can see the main island here where we are now. And we are currently facing south. We're going to be taking off on runway 10, which is going to be to the east here. We're going to fly out over the eastern part of the city, turn out over the water in a series of left turns, and we're going to fly down the coast, and then basically we're going to cut between the island and the mainland here and cut down the coast as we go. We should get some nice views of the city lights along the coastline. And we're going to be descending down. We're going to be flying up to 18,000 feet as our cruise. We'll be descending down, coming down this way, and we will come to Medic, where we're going to join the RNAV arrival, flying out over the city of Takaoka, and then swinging around, again left-hand turns, down towards Toyama. And we'll be coming in and landing on runway, I believe it's 02, right down here in the heart of the city. Molly is fluffy. She's still got all her puppy hair. She's actually going for a grooming on Thursday, so it'll be interesting to see how she looks when she's done. So that's our flight today. As I said, it's about 45 minutes roughly for our time once we get off the ground, which we are almost there. So we're going to dial in our cruise altitude as we're going to be climbing directly up. There does not seem to be any restrictions on our way out. No, looks good. So we'll put our altitude in of 18,000 feet. Everything is on board and we are good for engine start. There's 18,000. in. And there they go. So they're pulling all the equipment away. And we are good. So we'll get the cargo door closed. We'll get the tail prop put away. And we're going to be starting engines again here on the stand, and then we'll just wheel around and head out. So, starting the engines, we're going to come up here. We're going to start engine number 2 first. So we're going to go with the engine number 2 fuel pump on. Engine start selector is going to go down to start AB. We're going to turn on the beacon, turn on the wing lights, let them know that we are ready to fire up. Get a nice view for this. He has a dog top that says security on it, does he? And we are ready to start engine number 2. So, starter on. You can hear the igniters going. And we'll add fuel. Prop rotation. Actually, what I'm going to do quickly, since the
Out with the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the entire flight as you may experience unexpected turbulence. There are several
having to
emergency exits on this
reset
aircraft.
something here.
Please take a few
Let me
moments now
just-
to locate your nearest
there we go.
exit. In some cases, your nearest
So let's try that
exit may
again.
be
Fuel
behind
pumps
you.
on, starters
If we need
on.
to
We're going to
evacuate
start
the
number
aircraft,
2.
Floor level lighting will guide you towards the exit. In the event of a decompression.
There we go. That's better. Yeah, I've got nothing for Molly. My nieces are looking forward to having her over for Halloween. Apparently they have a costume for her so she can go trick-or-treating.
Until
All
a member
right.
of the crew advises you it is
So we get a good start
safe.
on engine number
When
2.
you're
We're going to
unlikely
come up
event of a
now.
water landing, a life vest is located
We'll turn on
in
the
pouch
engine
under
1
your
fuel
seat or
pump.
between the armrests. When
Starters
instructed
are
to do
set.
so, open the plastic pouch and
Starting
remove
engine
the
number
vest.
1.
Slip it over your head. Wrap the straps around your waist and buckle at the front. Pull the straps in tight. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting the aircraft. If it
And
doesn't
adding
inflate
fuel.
automatically, you may blow into the mouthpiece for manual inflation. This vest is equipped with a whistle and a light. If you need to, your seat cushion can be used as a
There we
secondary
go. We can just see the
device.
propeller tips
Please
starting
make
to
sure
go.
to exit the aircraft as soon as possible and leave your belongings. Please securely stow all personal items. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened and seat backs and tray tables are all
We're just
in their
watching the
full upright
internal
position.
turbine temperatures
We
come up.
remind you that this is a non-smoking flight, and that includes vaping. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located in the lavatories is strictly prohibited by law.
All
All
right,
of this
looks like we
information
are
and more
good.
can be found
I'm
in the
going to
safety
clear
card
the
located in the seat back in
checklist.
front of you. We suggest reading this and let us know if you have any questions. Thank you for flying with us, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Alright, so we're going to go to our ND on this side. We're going to put the ND on Roger's side. We're going to give him a 20-mile range. We're going to go to an 80-mile range once we're done on ours. He's got everything there. Like I said, he's going to go to transponder, everything. He's going to be with the weather radar. And of course, we are terrain. Put him on that. I'll stay on comms. And we should be good. So weather radar can go to standby. Transponder. Is on, sorry. There we go. TCAS is, or transponders on, TCAS is on auto. So we are good there. So let's bring the propellers up into auto. There we go. There we can see the torque starting to come up. we have both engines up and going. So fuel pumps are confirmed on. Prop brake is off. It's good. Engine start mode is A and B. Engines are started. Yeah, that's good. Hydraulic power, no lights. Let's come up here. We're all good. Disconnect our ground power. That's low. It'll come up once we add power. Let's go. Temperatures are looking good. Everything else is looking fine. Alright, so flaps. We're going to go 1 notch of flaps for takeoff. Anti-skid test. Test is good. Controls, gust lock will come off. And our controls are free and correct. Autopilot is set and off. 18,000 feet. We have a speed of 170. We're going to be on a heading hold. And then we'll be doing the 1,000 foot per minute climb. So, let's get the logo lights on. We'll get the taxi lights on. Make sure they disconnect the ground power unit. Over to the flight plan. Anti-ice is good. Should be on the brakes. There we go. Everything clears once we add power. Just doing a check on that. There we go. So bleeds are all good. That's good. Engine instruments are checked. Pitot heats again are on. And start mode is off. Alright, so we're going to wheel around and take Charlie down to 10. Niigata area traffic, Skyways 5556, taxiing from stand 3 via Charlie to runway 10. Alright, so we are good to go. Brakes are released. Swing her around. Beautiful cloudless sky here in Japan. And again, running Rex weather or Rex seasons advanced, so I can see a little bit of red in the trees off in the distance. Should look very nice. We're going to taxi out now, and we'll get ourselves ready to go. Kill the dome light.
Please note, the cabin lights will be dimmed for departure and landing. If you require additional lighting, there's a reading light on the panel above you.
Alright, so we're going to make our turn here. This is Charlie. We're going to head down. looks like on an update. I think I mentioned it before, but they've gotten the taxi speeds under control. It's not as quick as it was before. So we'll add a little bit of power to get us going. There's the sunrise. Just starting to see some light on the horizon there. Not sure if it's going to show up in the compression on YouTube, but I got a little hint of red there on the horizon, so we should see it as we take off. Unfortunately, Kevin's not able to join us today. He's got tied up with some stuff that he had to do, so he's not going to be home. He might pop into chat. We'll see. Speed up a little bit here. We can go a little bit faster. I am going to set the trim now that we have hydraulic power. Should be 1.1 on the trim. There we go. The only problem with GSX is, and I've mentioned it before, is if you're using the hotel start and then a pushback, you have to start the pushback procedure before you start engine 2 in hotel mode, or else it'll think you're running the engines and it won't hook up. So you have to go through the whole thing, get it up to the point where it's asking you to release the parking brake, and then you start up the hotel mode, and then you can do that whole sequence of events. But we had room to swing around there, so I wasn't too worried about it. Alright, as you can see, the winds are fairly light. Maybe 1 or 2 knots, just enough to swing the windsock around. Alright. So we're coming up to the end of the taxiway. Kind of just start to make out some of the trees there. Not sure why this screen is down. Don't seem to be able to put it up at all. Anyway, some beautiful colors on the trees there. You might see it when we pull into Toyama. And my challenge for today's flight is to see if I can do this without striking the tail. That seems to be a issue I have. Again, the fuselage is very low to the ground in this aircraft, so it is easy to do a tail strike. Both landing and takeoff. We'll see if we can do it nicely without on this flight today. Alright, so here's the hold short. Alright, and why did everything just cut out there? Alright, let's see, what am I missing? Oh, what? Because that's a problem with the airplane. If you go right back to idle, she loses hydraulic pressure and everything because the engines are running too light. Anyway, take a pre-departure takeoff configuration. We can come down, push the button, and it should say right up here, OK. TO config test OK. Power management confirmed, set to takeoff. Speeds are set 104, 104, and 110. FCP, nav data, and radios are all set. Altitude and speed indicators are set. And let's just make sure we are in vertical speed. And I'm going to want 1,000 foot per minute. There we go. And fuel quantities are checked, and we are good. So we're going to come up top. Strobe lights on, landing lights are on, and transponder is already on. Weather radar is now on. Auto torque is set. Clock is running. Runways identified. We are good to move out. Get ourselves lined up here. So we are lined up on the brakes. Brakes are set. We are going to bring our power up to notch. Notch on both engines, and we are good to go. And we're going to be taking off at about 110 knots. Brakes released. Niigata area traffic, Skyways 5556, rolling runway 10 on the Machba to departure. Niigata. 60 knots. There's 110, ease it back. Just hold it. There we go. No tail strike. Yay for me. Positive rate, gear up. And we're gonna go autopilot, vertical speed, nav.
Don't sing. Don't sing.
It's got that habit of doing that nose down thing. Which is very annoying. Speed's coming up, so we're going to go. Oh, no big stutter there. Indicated airspeed, flaps up. Set that target to 166 or 170. And we can turn to our climb setting. There we go. So after takeoff, positive rate. Gears up, flaps are retracted, power management set to climb, autopilot, yaw damper are on. We are in indicated airspeed mode of 170 knots, and we are on LNAV, so we're following the course. Yaw damper, of course, is on. Annunciator lights are good. There's the town. That sunrise over the windows there. As you can see, we're flying up. We're going to come around, and that'll bring us heading westward and then southwest along the coastline. There's the sunrise. Starting to appear across the mountains there. That ridge that runs down the center of Japan. Making the turn. Yeah, we're heading up to 18,000 feet, so it's going to take a little bit of time to get there, but it should be okay. There's the airport and the town. It's nice to be heading south again. See the two VORs. The VOR at the other airfield 125 miles away. That's pointing to it right there. Alright, we are looking good. So schedule for the rest of this week, my intention is we're going to be streaming tomorrow. We'll be flying the Air Canada A320 on the Canadian tour. Wednesday we're back in the DC-3s for the US Capitals tour, and we'll be continuing with that one. Friday we're back in Satan. I believe we left off in Boise, Idaho. We'll be heading back to Denver, Colorado. There'll be no stream on Saturday. And Sunday we will be doing our F1 series. We last flew to Doha from Japan, and we'll be heading off to the next destination from there. Right now, as per normal, there is no stream on Thursdays. That is my day off, as it were. So everything is looking good. Pop up to the overhead. There's no errors, no white lights anywhere. Turn off the taxi lights, the wing lights, and the logo lights. We'll leave the others on at the moment. That's off. We're all good. Hydraulic power is good. Everything is good there. Cockpit temperature is about 100 or 2,100. That'd be too warm. 21 degrees, and everything else is looking good. We can leave that where it is. Seatbelt signs will stay on for the flight. It's not going to be that long. Actually, we'll turn them off in case anyone has to go use the loo. A little bit of terrain warnings in the area, but we're slowly climbing up above it. And everything is looking good. Oh, Molly's up. Hi, girl. You can go lie down. Gonna be getting hungry soon. So once we get through 10,000 feet, I'll switch over to standard pressure, turn off the landing lights, and I'll put on a little bit of music. You're going to see the top of descent appearing, and our indicator there. Looks like about a 30-mile run at altitude between where we should end up at 18,000 feet and where we're going to start heading down. So very brief. All right, there's 10,000 feet. We'll switch over to standard pressure. Landing lights can come off. Seatbelt signs are off.
Gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000 feet. You may now turn on your larger portable electronic devices. This is also a reminder to please keep your seatbelt fastened while you're seated and do not congregate in the galleys or near the lavatory.
Alright, so I'm going to get a little bit of music going in the back, and I'm going to go see how Molly is.
The flight crew has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. You can now get up and move around the cabin. However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when seated in case of unexpected turbulence.
Alright, so there's some tunes. And I'm going to just mute my mic now and go take care of Molly, and we will be back with you shortly. Enjoy the... oh, let's look this way so you can watch the sunrise. Alright, well, we're almost up to cruise. Just inching our way up to 18,000 feet now.
As this is a shorter flight, we will not be able to offer in-flight service. Please let us know if there's anything we can do to make your flight more enjoyable, and we will assist you.
And we can see the sun is just about to cross the horizon back there. Alright, nose is coming down. We're starting to level off. Speed's starting to increase. And we can switch over into cruise power setting. There we go. And we're less than 40 miles to go to our arrival. So we took a look at our arrival as we came in. We'll just do a quick review. So we're doing the RNP for runway 02. That's going to take us in basically on a teardrop with a left-hand turn around to land on the runway. Missed approach, we're going to climb to 3,000 feet back out to the medic waypoint and hold there. And then we'll contact the tower if we need to do anything in regards to that. Once we're down on the runway, we're going to have to backtrack and come back and look for a position on the ramp to land. Looks like all ramp parking, but we should be able to pick a spot close to the terminal building, so that should not be an issue. We'll get the current weather down in Toyama. It was pretty calm earlier. Let's see, doesn't seem to be much of a change. Winds are variable at 2 knots, 16 degrees, and QNH is 1022, same as it was in Niigata. I'll put the weather in. So we're going to set our minimums now. Minimums for this landing is 451 feet. They're already set on MDA, so we'll set that to 451. We'll go up to 460 just because we always round up. 460 is set on both sides, so minimums are in. We come over to our performance. You can see our landing speed is going to be the approach speed of 101. I do about 110 until about 50 feet up, and then slow it down from there. Go around speed of 114, and we've got plenty of runway. We still have to backtrack probably a little bit. So we're going to set our descent altitude down to 500 feet. And we'll let the aircraft fly its way down to that, so that should be good. And we'll, of course, we'll set that once we pass through Goryu. But weather-wise, we're clear. No other aircraft in the area, and again, VATSIM is very quiet. Here, there is an aircraft, a Cathay Pacific 777, heading from Vancouver to Hong Kong. It's further south of us right now. We're flying down Japan towards Hong Kong. So everything is looking good. We got a 15 knot headwind currently. Just set a couple things in here. So transition altitude is 14,000 feet and QNH is 1022. We got that information. Alrighty, there's our approach speed. We're doing a full flap landing, and everything in normal mode heading for runway 02. So we're about 21 miles from top of descent. So if we look at everything, destination weather is obtained. Arrival data, we've set and checked it. It is good. We have no real restrictions. We could come down to our flight plan here. If we go into medic, you can see we have an altitude constraint of 3,000 feet. That's hard code that in there. We'll execute that. And if we go back to 3,000 feet as well, and that's where we start to head down. So that is all looking good on our routing. Definitely starting to see some more light coming up here. We're starting to see path indicators appear. Of course, my top of descent markers have disappeared, which is not good. So it's just past Goru where we start down. Hopefully it'll line up when we go into our VNAV mode. This is an issue I've had before with it. See the hold at medic in case we have to go around. Happened there. Let's get that back. Because I'm clicking. Yeah, it's because I'm clicking in there. Alright, so we're going to set 500 feet for our altitude select. There we go. Once we're through Goru, we'll start our descent. That beautiful sunrise color out there. So 1 mile to go. We'll leave power set in cruise mode until we're just about to land, when we'll switch it over to takeoff mode. So there we go. We're through. We're heading off to the next point. So we'll go into VNAV. Start heading down. Bring the power back as well. Try to maintain about 220 knots in the descent. Toyama area traffic, Skyways 5556, 3 miles past Goryeo. Leaving flight level 180, inbound for the RNAV 02 approach to Toyama. Hokkaido. Don't want to go too far. We get that huge power drop. So we'll just try to, again, keep it around that 220 area. So the airport is down in this area over here. As we come in, this is all populated city area that we're flying into. When we hit medic, we'll hit approach mode, and that'll take us in on the RNAV. Let's see how she does. Alright, we're through 14,000 feet, so we can switch over to our local pressure. Again, we want to go to 1022. And that is set and cross-checked. Actually, no, it's not. It is. Interesting, that one doesn't change. Alright, that's all good. 30 minutes into the flight, we're on our way down, coming up for 10,000 feet. Really see the mountains there outlined. Not getting any sunshine down on the ground level yet, though, until the sun gets above those peaks, which will probably do once we're on the ground. Although, of course, as we're getting lower, that's getting harder to see. Turn towards medic. 27 miles out from the airfield. There's 10,000 feet coming up, so the seatbelt signs can go on.
The flight crew has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please return to your seat, fasten your seatbelt.
Huh. Interesting. It does read them through packs.
We have begun our final descent into your destination. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in a full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the
I'm going to try to bring the speed down to 200 by the time we get to medic. We have a 230 or below. 230 anyway. Yeah, 230. I think that's in the hold, but try to get her down to 200 as we come in. Just for speed control and a little bit of ease of handling. We do have those 3,000 foot limits we've programmed in. happy with the color. There's the airport. Yeah, we're just about to get sunrise. Nice early morning first flight of the day. Action going on here. 6,000 feet. We do have a restriction at NT 250 of 185 knots. That's fine. We're almost down to 200 now. 185 is where we can drop our first set of flaps as well. Just working that throttles, keep that speed around the 200, 205 mark. Alright, approach mode is armed. Hey Kevin, no, we just got a beautiful sunrise starting to happen here as we fly into Toyama. It's looking very nice, although it's dimming as we get lower since we're losing the sun that way. Here's our 3,000 foot limit coming up. Watch that speed now that we're level. And we're going to hold 3,000 feet down to Owara, and then we'll be descending from there. How'd your meeting go? Hope it went well. All right, we're looking good. As we come in, we're going to go down to 10 miles here. See how she handles the RNP approach. It is. And beautiful. These are the first clouds we've seen as well. It's been a beautiful clear sky as we did the first flight out of Niigata this morning. Just watching that speed. Yeah, right. No, it makes sense. Makes perfect sense. There's the town. A lot of rivers coming out of the mountains. Of course, in Japan, a lot of the cities and towns are right on the coast, as it's the only really flat spot in the area, given the amount of hills and everything, mountains, and really rough terrain. Pushes most of the population out to the coastline. VOR2 is pointing towards the airport. It's only 6 miles away. That's right there. Right on the edge of that river there. So we're looking good. So we got off the ground without a tail strike. Let's see how we do landing on this one. Alright, so we're doing the approach. ILS VOR NDB frequencies not applicable. We are in an an RNAV RNP approach. Power management. I don't know why this is doing it that way, but we're set to take off power. Flaps will do as required. Approach mode is armed, and we're on VNAV path. We are following the deviation indicators. Gear and flaps. Go around altitude 3,000 feet is set, or will be set once we head down. Parking brake is confirmed off, and autopilot and yaw damper will come off once we're established on the approach. Alright, so we're going to make the turn just before the hills here, come around, and then head down for our landing. And again, we're holding 3,000 feet to Owara. As we can see there on the indicator. Almost done, Molly. Almost done. Alright. Let's see if she makes the turn here. There we go. No, I think I'm just pulling. I've already got the decreased the pull on the first little bit, and I think it's just I was pulling too much. I'll be right with you, Molly. Give me 10 minutes. Yeah. All right, so we're coming around the corner. Everything's looking good. Yeah, I know. I'll be right with you. And down we go. So we're going to go flaps 1. Get that power back. Start to head down. Get that speed back to 150. Be there in a minute. Of course, right when I'm coming into land, she gets a little bit needy. So working our way around here on the VNAV. Sitting right behind me now. All right, so gear down. Working our way around, keeping that speed going. Okay, just give me a minute. I'm gonna have to do a quick run with her outside as soon as we're done. Thousand feet to go. Should be at about 750 when we level off. Really coming down over these people's houses here. I'm sure they're not very happy about that. Speed coming back. Final flaps.
200.
Yeah, she's low. She's coming off the path there. see how she was dipping below, so I'll go manual. So we bring it around. Speed's coming back. There's the airport. Again, we're doing an RNAV here. Speed's down to 115. Working around to level her off. So gears down, 3 green, flaps full. Takeoff power set. Be right with you, Molly.
Minimum.
Continue. Get her lined up. That's an interesting curving approach.
Don't sink.
I know. I'm watching
Don't
it.
sink.
Over the river. Got to remember not to flare.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Ah, tail strike. All right, and we are down. So quick turnaround here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination. The local time is 5:58 a.m. and it's currently about 17 degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile devices.
All right, you can see those colors there on the trees, looking very nice.
And the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins, as items may have been shifted during the flight. We thank you for flying with us.
All right, so we're going to come back down here to the taxiway. And we'll get ourselves off here. This is taxiway 2. See the sign there saying 2. And we're just going to pick a spot here. Oh, interesting, it's up on a hill. Alright, so we'll come around the corner. That's taxi light on. Flaps up. Very interesting parking area here. And we can go over here and they can bus them in or let them walk in. Alright. And here we are. Welcome to Toyama. Let's get the brakes on. Power up a little bit. Come over here, aircraft. Get the ground power and wheel chocks in. Let's get that hooked up. There we go. Then we're good. So, engine 1 and 2. Get them shut down. the engines are coming down. Beacon light will come off. We'll leave the nabs on. Taxi light will come off. Seatbelt signs and the other signs off. Fuel pumps for both engines will come off. Oxygen is off. And we can get them to open up the doors and do all that good stuff.
The boarding requested.
All right. Well, here we are in our destination for this flight. Thank you very much for joining us and coming along. We'll see you on the next one. We're back in the A320 in Canada tomorrow night. Hope to see you there. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.